And we're back. Hello, friends. How are we doing? I have a question for the YouTube people now. So we're at a month, 2 months into this whole journey here, and things have so far been going good so far. But I have a question. Do y'all prefer more talking during song, less talking during song? Stop song, play song all the way through. I've been in videos that have done all of the above, and I don't know which one works best. So you must comment, and you must tell me below. What do I confuse? Until then, hello friends, my name is Anthony, some people call me Twan. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, a singer, a mix engineer, and I'm here on YouTube to basically ask you how to do this thing, because I don't know what I'm doing.
I have no idea what's going on.
I have 2 cameras, some lights, and a dream. And we're here to dream big, because we've got a song out of El Beanie of Justice. Oh, did you like that? It was a segue just off the top of my noggin. I'm so freaking smart. Okay, well, let's see what the Beanie has granted us from on high. We've got Slaughter to Prevail, Viking. Oh my God. We're gonna die, lads. Are you ready? Because I sure am. We've got Alex Terrible wrestling bears and befriending bears and screaming on stage with no microphone, and the people can still hear him. Yes, I know. I have seen some Slaughter to Prevail. I'm not very well versed on much other than I know of the man himself. The scary man with the voice of a god, of a demon, of a beast from another world. Let's just put it that way. It's always a lot of fun, man, because it's just so, how do you even, you know? Okay, well, let's see what we got, man. This should be a trip. I'm like tensed up. Oh, look at the font. I'm ready. I'm ready to die. To be slaughtered. I was right. Beat drop? Nope. Holy shit balls. I can't believe this. These are good riffs, man. There it goes. This is wild. Okay, so back to the intro. And into, I don't even know these sections. This feels like a chorus. Listen to those freaking drums, dude. It's so groovy. Love it. This is a chorus again, yeah? Is there more? Is it break? That's a breakdown. Uber breakdown. Gotta be. Yeah. Oh, that was a cool modulation. There was a, whoa, oh baby, there was a lot going on there. Holy crap. Jeez. This is definitely a genre I'm not extremely well versed in. So forgive me if I was a little too analytical and not quite into the song as much as I should have been. I was trying to figure out and really kind of analyze what was going on because, like I said, this kind of, what do you call this genre? Deathcore? Like thrash, death, doom, something like that along those lines is not normally a genre that I take a foray into. So I was just trying to figure out like how they write songs and you know what their goals are and stuff. And obviously the goal of this song was to make Alex Terrible just make evil noises. And he's so freaking good at that, man. I can't scream in any technique. I don't know how you make these noises that come out of his throat. Like, I know you're supposed to, what they tell you you're supposed to do, right? They say it's like when you are flustered or tired and you come home from a long day of work and your spouse says, hey, do the dishes, bitch. And you're just like, what they say is that's the beginning of doing stuff with false chords, the lower, and the beginnings of doing like kind of the fry scream higher is making the creaky door sound going wah. Past that, I can't do it. I, to be fair, haven't really tried much, but it's not a thing I can do. It's not a thing I know how to do. All I know is when, and I've said this before, but you can tell when there is somebody doing something who's so freaking good at it. It just grabs you by the balls and just, hey, listen to me. And that's what this guy does with his just sick voice, man. And he's jacked. He's freaking ripped. I'm so jealous. Mr. Alex Terrible, always killing it, man. But here's what was interesting. Okay, so first off, before I forget, the little crazy guitar, like that thing, was they call it a whammy pedal. Now what you can do is a little pedal you put on the floor. It's like a rocker pedal. It's kind of shaped like this, and you step on it here, and it kind of, you push it. It looks kind of like a wah pedal, if you know what that is for guitars, but it does something different. It alters your pitch. So what you can do is you can set it to whatever kind of interval you want it to go to. In this case, they were using an octave. You play a note when the rocker is back, and it plays the note, but then when you rock it forward, it will swoop your pitch from 0 up to an entire octave. So it'll do like a like, it's really, really cool. And that's how he was doing that sound with the guitar, just as a random aside. Okay, so here's what's interesting about the songwriting for this kind of stuff. And now I don't want to say this song has no melody, but it really doesn't have like a melody that you can sing. There's like that little thing going on in the chorus, but it's not really something that you would sing, right? So to make songs like this catchy and hooky and kind of bring you in and something to remember, it has to groove. To write a groovy song, it can go a couple different ways, but you have to continually change things up so that the groove doesn't get stale. Because what can happen is, say you were playing a beat for 2 straight minutes. it would just get old. And so with songs like this, what keeps things interesting is you have to change stuff. Now the guitars were just kind of riffing down low with these really fast, low, down pick palm mutes, just like chugga chugga chug 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 chug, you know. So they weren't doing a ton as far as capturing your attention. The point of them was, again, to lend to the overall groove of the song. Them, the drums, the bass, even the vocals. With something like this, you have to treat the vocals as another layer of percussion, basically. That's kind of what it feels like, because that's what kind of will get you going. So like they started the song real fast, like like blast beats and all crazy kinds of fast shit. The guitar player was doing the whirlwind with the hair and all this madness. And then they half-timed it. They slowed it down a little bit and made the riff a little bit groovier. And you could feel it, because I was just like, oh, okay, there's the pulse, and you start, your head starts moving with it. And so then you found the groove, and then all you have to do is kind of start moving things around. And it's kind of the key to any song in any kind of piece, whether that be classical or jazz or rock or metal or, musical theater, whatever you will. You have to constantly kind of move things around and keep things interesting. And one of the things you can do is you bring the song down, bring it to nothing. And then you can bring it in what would normally be the same intensity as the part before, but because you're coming in from nothing, it's still got some slam and it's got some dynamics to it, which is always what you want. So like the song started with Mr. Terrible just doing his thing. And then the song came in, it was really fast, then it kind of slowed down and started doing some groovy stuff, and then they brought it down again. And then they brought it back in again. And so like you can move these things around and do these things and keep the interest of the listener without having to do much by way of like melodic hooks and things like that. It's more about the change in the groove. That's why this is a genre that's always eluded me as far as its appeal is drum and bass. I just personally don't get it. Not that I'm knocking any of it at all, but from what I've gathered from people who like it, is what they really like are the changes and the drops. Because something I did not know, and you might know, drum and bass is always 1 BPM, no matter what. And so there's different kinds of drum and bass at different BPMs, but if you pick a specific subsection of drum and bass, they're all the same. And so you can like layer songs in and out, and they all have their different kinds of drops and rises and things. And so you can DJ all these songs to basically fabricate and build your own song that has the ebb and the flow that you want. The same kind of principle applies here, except instead of looping in a bunch of different songs that you're, pulling into DJ, you're just writing it from nothing. So it's really interesting, the thought and the theory behind these rhythm-driven genres and how to keep them interesting and hooky and things like that. I hope that made sense. That was the biggest thing that I noticed, was how they changed the groove and made things groove in a different way. What else do I have to say here? Of course, these guys are, super iconic. They have their masks that are a very distinct style. It's very good branding. They even had the little mask shop kind of ad at the very beginning of the video, which was cool. Mad props. Sell your shit. Make the money. You know what I mean? Oh, the drums are, man, the mix was really, really cool too. Like, everything was very nice and cohesive. The drums were loud. The kick drum especially, like when he was going, you could hear it. It was nice. Were they played or were they triggered? I don't really know. But with a genre like this, you probably want to have all that shit triggered so it's nice and even and level and audible. So by triggered, I mean, if you do not know, for drums, what you can do is something called sample replace or sample augment, which is where you take the hit of a drum from a real drummer and then you can layer in what they call a sample, which is a recording of somebody else playing a snare in a different place. Normally they're kind of sampled to play the snare like on their own. So you can layer these things in so that you can augment a normal person's performance with samples to either change the drum tone, make it louder, make it bigger, make it more bombastic, or make it more even, any of that stuff. Or you can just straight up sample replace, which is you take what the guy normally played, you strike it, and you drop in samples where he was playing. Either way, there's no shame in doing any of that. It's whatever the song calls for to make it slam, because guaranteed 99.9% of people are not going to say, most people don't care. I don't care. And I'm kind of a drummer. I don't care. It sounded cool. It served the song. That's all we like. It sounds great. Guitar tone was really interesting. It was just kind of your standard straight up metal thing. but they were tight. These guitars were tightly played, and it sounded like it was all down picks, which means like your hand is moving quick. It's the James Hetfield thing. If you've ever like seen the memes of James Hetfield playing Master of Puppets where he's like playing all down picks, their right hand is flying. It's crazy. So always kind of big props when there are guitar players and bass players as well that can, you know, kind of keep up that, because that takes a shit ton of stamina to do. Can you tell I enjoyed that? It was very interesting, very well written, very nice, and of course, everyone's super talented. The shock factor hit me at the very beginning, which I know they were going for. I didn't take a single breath in that. All right, well, thanks everybody for sticking around till the end. I hope this was of value to you. Maybe you learned something, and if not, you can make fun of me for my lack of knowledge of this death thrash doomcore genre. That's fine with me. Just comment below. It helps the algorithm, you know what I mean? And I'm just a giant whore for that kind of shit. So if you like what I have to say here, I sing for 2 bands and play guitar in a third. All the info is in the description below. And on this channel, if you feel so inclined, you can subscribe, hit the little bell diddly-doo, because I do my own kind of one-man band covers on here where I play the drums, the guitar, the bass, the singing, the vocals. I mix and I master and I shoot the video kind of all in this space, all by myself, because I have no friends. So if you're interested in that, consider sticking around. Or we do a bunch of these analysis videos as well, where I talk way too long about the intricacies of a song that nobody cares about. So, anyway, you made it to the end. Appreciate you. Now get out.